Hey guys, how's it going? Trying to get more regular on my commentary videos. It's always kind of tough because when I get in the car, which is pretty much my only time I can really video, I like to just rock out and listen to music and get in the mood, especially when it's a gym day. You need to get kind of mentally prepared to lift weights. But today I kind of felt like talking about a subject which I feel like a lot of people would be interested in. It's a reason why I cannot compete in any IPF sanctioned federation like USAPL or anything like that. It's because I am a fake natty. Now, for any of you that do not know what a fake natty is, well, I guess I'm not anymore because I'm talking about it on camera, but what a fake natty is somebody that claims to be natural with no performance-enhancing drugs, but they are clearly taking performance-enhancing drugs. Now, why I say I'm natural, but I'm not natural, is because I have recently, like within the past, I think it's 8 months now, might be. It's not too long, definitely less than a year. Started taking testosterone replacement therapy. Now, that prevents me from competing in any tested federations, because even though my doctor prescribed medicine, which is a steroid, it's testosterone cypionate, is to bring me up to natural levels, because they tested during normal routine blood work. They tested my testosterone because I'm starting to get older now, and it was like 250, I don't know, somewhere around there, 250-ish. And he said for my age I should be in the 500 range. People are naturally usually between 300 is the low cutoff. They say if you're under 300, you're low, and we can prescribe you testosterone. Well, I guess it's always up to the doctor's, expertise and consideration, but that's what he generally goes by, is 300. Most doctors do. Most of the medical community, but he said 500 is a good range. Some people are up near 1,000 naturally on their free testosterone, and I was 250. So I don't know if that's recent or if I've always been that low. I don't imagine I'd always be that low. I imagine I've had some generally high testosterone naturally most of my life, because I do have a pretty good natural gift of strength and size and muscle mass. But I don't know, that could be from other things. But anyways, first time I've got tested and it was that low. So I was definitely surprised about it, but we were having some trouble getting some of my other blood numbers under control, and trying to bring down my body fat a little bit more, just to keep my triglycerides low and everything. So for health reasons, and also just to help me maintain, because low testosterone is dangerous for men, that can lead to a lot of medical problems, he put me on testosterone, and it's injectable form. It's not creams or anything like that. I was gonna do that because I'm actually a little bit squeamish of needles, believe it or not, but it's cheaper insurance-wise. It's super cheap to go with the injectable testosterone versus creams or patches or anything like that. So we went with the injectable testosterone, and I would go into the office, have the nurse do it, but that's $100 every time because it's an office visit. So after a few of those, I was like, man, this is expensive. I'll do it myself. I'll figure out how to inject myself with a needle. I'm not too bad with somebody else injecting me with a needle. I can just look away and just kind of, grin and bear it. Not a big deal. But injecting myself with a needle, that was really hard for me to do. In fact, I had to have my wife do it initially for a long time, until it was, sometimes she's not available. She's, out of town at her parents' house or whatever. I just don't want to wait for her because she's busy doing something else. So I got over it to do it myself. A little difficult. I can't do it in the glute. I have to do it just because of my flexibility. I don't feel like I get a good angle back there. I can't spread the skin, which is like a method to help relieve the stinging of the needle going in, kind of spread the injection site apart, and then stick yourself. And so anyways, I do it in the quad. But anyways, so I've been doing that for about 8 months. And at first I was kind of excited because I was like, sweet, I'm gonna take steroids. Maybe I'm gonna get some gains from this, and maybe my numbers are gonna start shooting up. But then I quickly learned that wasn't the case. I've made some progress since I started taking it. I don't know if I can really attribute it to the testosterone at all, because afterwards got my numbers checked again, and they're really not much higher. I think it's because my body is determined, hey, look, there's the testosterone's already here. We don't have to do anything. So my body kind of shut down its own production of it. So I think I need actually a little bit more just to bring myself up to regular levels. But anyways, and so I wasn't really making any progress, nothing drastic, that's for sure. And, but progressing, but definitely wasn't making a lot of crazy gains, which I was kind of hoping to. Then I found out from talking to some other people that definitely have experience with steroids, admittedly, and they're open, like, Mark Bell at my gym. He's been in a documentary talking about it, so he's very open about talking about steroids. And, I told him, hey, I'm starting testosterone replacement therapy. It's 100 milligrams a week, or 200 every 2 weeks. But I was doing it every week because I didn't want to get as much of a swing up and down. When it starts to run out of your system, then your mood, get moody all the time. But anyways, he told me, you're not gonna see nothing from 100 milligrams a week, dude. Guys your size and your body weight would be taking about 1 gram a week of testosterone. They'd probably start with 500 and move up to 1,000 pretty quick, among other substances as well. I was like, oh, dang, well, and I was a little bit interested because honestly, with what I'm doing, seeing some of the other people competing and what they're doing, knowing that they're taking performance enhancing drugs, I was like, well, shoot, I can't compete tested anyway, because even the low amount that I have, they don't test your free testosterone. They can find some sort of carbon marker that's from artificial to a natural testosterone, and you can still flag for that. So it doesn't matter how much artificial testosterone I'm taking, it flags the test and I would fail. So I'm not going to try to cheat the test and take it. You have to get a medical exemption. You pretty much have to have no testicles to get a medical exemption to be able to take artificial testosterone in these WADA enforced federations. So it's not going to happen. So anyways, I figured, well, if I can't test or can't compete in these tested federations anyway, might as well try to get on the even playing field with the best and start taking some steroids. But my wife's opposed to it greatly because of all the different health, one, because it's illegal, but two, because, which it shouldn't be, by the way. I'm a big proponent of legalizing everything and letting people have their own choices for what they can and can't put in their bodies, but that's a separate subject. However, my wife didn't want me to do it because there are side effects. There's I researched a lot of it, and so I've learned a lot, talked to a lot of people that use, read a ton of forums, a lot of subreddits, you name it. Just learned a lot of stuff, and I'm a little bit leery because I already have some of the some problems that steroids would make worse, like cholesterol. I already have, I have borderline high cholesterol right now. I've controlled it with changing my diet and exercise, and it's been on the high side of normal, but it's still high, higher than I'd like it to be. And when you take testosterone, it can increase your cholesterol, and then if you go really high on your testosterone and other, you start taking trenbolone and these other compounds, Deca and whatever else, D-bol, Dianabol, then your estrogen spikes and you start getting all sorts of other side effects, and you start getting things like gynecomastia, which is also known as bitch tits, and I definitely don't want that. It's only reversible by surgery. It's like, well, I don't want that. So well, you got to take other drugs. You got to take Arimidex and like I said, I've been doing lots of Nolvex. I think is another one. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I don't have firsthand practical experience. Everything's from what I read, but so it's like, can't do that. I just can't do that because it's just gonna open a whole big can of worms. And a lot of times probably more so with bodybuilders, but it probably happens with powerlifters too. I think bodybuilders definitely get on the more extreme amounts of compounds and take bigger stacks of things because it takes a lot more to get their aesthetic look while retaining muscle, while powerlifters are just caring about performance. They don't care about mass. They don't care about how shredded they look for the most part, unless they're trying to make a weight class. They're just trying to put on muscle or they're trying to just be as strong as possible in their weight class. So they're just taking everything that'll increase strength. And so I think there's a little bit more simpler what they do if they're going to use. But I decided it's just not going to be for me. I'm just going to maintain what I'm at. I don't know, maybe see if my doctor can up my dose a little bit more, just because, like I said, with what I'm taking, my body has shut down its own production, so now I'm kind of barely off, where I was originally. So I might need to bump it up a little bit more, just to get up to some normal levels. And it'd be nice to be a 36-year-old competing amongst these 22-year-olds that have naturally higher testosterone than me, or maybe what I used to have. If mine was higher back in the day, I don't know. But and I understand why, if I start getting in the master class and these age-restricted groups as you get older, why it can definitely be considered cheating, because hey, these guys have lower testosterone. But right now I'm 36. I can compete in Submaster, which is what some like USPA has, which I competed with in last time back in July at the Ironborn in Yuba City. But other than that, that's a kind of a newer thing, and not many people or federations are doing that. I don't think the SPF has which is what I'm going to compete in, because everyone in my gym does the SPF. So yeah, I don't know if you consider that natty or not. I mean, I definitely still feel like I'm natty, because I'm going by my testosterone levels. I'm just trying to even out and try to compete on an even level with even natural lifters that have good natural testosterone, and maybe get a little bit closer to what some of these guys that are on gear are doing. Because like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to be the best. Like I said in my last video, I just don't have the time to dedicate to the sport enough to be the best, because of my family situation and my job situation. But at least to be the best that I can be, and to try to compete at a higher level. So you decide. I still am going to claim to be half natty. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but I want to be open about anything and everything, so people, because I get a lot of accusations that, oh, that guy's on steroids, he's got to be. No, I've been this size like my whole life. I've put on more mass lately, but that's been pretty much over the past 3 years since I started doing the big lifts. I feel like adding squats and deadlifts into my workout routine and not just concentrating on lower body has added more size than anything else I've done. But other than that, I've been this size and fairly similar strength for a good portion of my life. So I think that kind of proves that I haven't been using performance enhancing drugs for very long. And even then, like I said, it's not really performance enhancing, because it's not doing much of that. So just wanted to come out there with that and let everyone know and give them some ideas of what's going on. All right, thanks for listening. Bye.